All right, today we are going to look at writing some equations of lines using point-slope form. Okay? Point-slope form. All right, there's the first slide right there. Okay? We have talked previously about when we write equations of lines, back when we did like just slope and y-intercept. What kind of information has been given? It is very important for you to be able to look at information and understand what you're looking at. Okay? Now, the first thing you see up there, that 3, 4, that is an ordered pair of numbers. Every ordered pair of numbers describes a point on a graph. So when you see that ordered pair, I want you to see that ordered pair and think that is a point. Yes, it's an x value and a y value, but it is a point on a graph. It's important that you understand that you see that as a point. Okay? The other piece of information there, what does lowercase m represent? Say again? Perfect. Outstanding. That is slope. Okay? So if you see this information, I would like for you to view it as, hey, they have given me a point and they have given me a slope. Okay? That's what I've been given. Therefore, we have a form called point-slope form that's going to be very useful for us to plug that information into. Go ahead and jot this form down. Okay? This is point-slope form. And the way that we're going to say this, as you're writing it, that is y minus y sub 1 equals m, which is your slope, times x minus x sub 1. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. This is point-slope form. Okay? Like slope-intercept form, which was y equals mx plus b, we're pretty familiar with that. This form is also very friendly. It's very user-friendly. It accepts information. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do, the three things that I have boxed in red, okay? Those three places are where you can put information. Okay? The y sub 1, that is where we're going to put a y value. The x sub 1 is where we're going to put an x value. And of course the m is where we're going to put the slope. Okay? So that's why you see the sub 1s on some of those x's and y's, because that is where you're going to plug information in. Okay? The other y and the other x that doesn't have anything with it, those are going to stay y and x. Okay? Any questions about point-slope form? Does everybody have it down? Okay, because we need to be able to reference that. Okay. Okay. First example. We've got the point 4, 1. We've already talked that, hey, that's an ordered pair of numbers that describes a point on a graph. So we have a point. We also have a slope, m equals 2. Now, I am going to jot down right here. You don't have to if you don't want to. I'm going to write down this point-slope form right there. Okay? Guys, in that information they gave us, what is the y value up there? Which one of those numbers is the y value? The 1. Y sub 1 is where we're going to plug it in, but the 1 is the y value. What's the x value? 4 is the x value. And of course, the m is the slope. So here we go. We're going to go y minus, make sure you put that minus sign there. That minus sign is built into the form. Y minus, what was my y value? 1. Plug that in. equals, what's my m value? 2. Plug that in. And then x minus 4. Now, I would continue to encourage you, anytime you replace a variable with anything, I would use a set of parentheses. And that's kind of what you're seeing what I did up there. Okay? Is everybody okay with where all those numbers are coming from? Okay, so here's what we got. Y minus 1 equals, now check it out, we're going to have to distribute that 2. That slope number is going to get distributed inside those parentheses. So what is 2 times x? Thank you, 2x. What is 2 times negative 4? Negative 8. Negative 8. Is everybody okay so far? Y minus 1 now equals 2x minus 8 because we distributed the slope of 2. Okay, so far so good? What we have right here, we're not quite done yet, but what we have right there is the point-slope form of an equation of a line that goes through the point 4,1 and has a slope of 2. This is a legitimate equation of a line. It qualifies as the equation of a line, okay? In point-slope form. Now, the instructions on the assignment today are going to ask you that they want an equation in slope-intercept form. Guys, you remember slope-intercept form? Y equals mx plus b. Y equals mx plus b. That is slope-intercept form. To put something in slope-intercept form means that it is solved for y. Y is going to be the only thing on one side of that equal sign. Okay? So take a look at our equation that we've got here. Point-slope form. Y minus 1 equals 2x minus 8. If you want to get y by itself, what's the one thing over there on the left side that needs to move to the right side? And how would you move negative 1? So watch this. We're going to add 1. So negative 1 plus 1 gone. There's our y equals. We've got 2x. What's negative 8 plus 1? Negative 7. Negative 7. And now our equation is in slope-intercept form. Okay? And so as far as the instructions on the assignment today, this is where we would finally be done. Y equals 2x minus 7. But both of these equations, and just let me emphasize that again, both of those equations are legitimate equations of that same line. They both describe a line that goes through the point 4,1 and has a slope of 2. Okay? It's because of the information we've been given, we say, hey, we've been given a point and a slope, and we go, oh, man, I've got a form that will take a point and a slope, and I can plug into it. And once I do that, I can get to other versions of the equation. Okay, any questions thus far? We're going to do another one. So far, so good? Okay. Whoops. There we go. There you go. There it is. Jot that one down. Again, it is important that you look at this information. Yes, we're seeing an ordered pair of numbers, 4, -3, but that describes a point on a graph. So we've got a point and a slope. Okay, we've got a point and a slope. Our x value is 4, our y value is -3, our slope is -1. All right, you guys ready? Here we go. We're going to go y minus, what's my y value? -3. Equals, what's our m value? -1 times x minus, what's our x value? 4. Take the numbers that I'm sorry. Okay. I am using parentheses to replace any of my variables, okay? Now, caution right here, okay? Guys, anytime you plug in a negative number for an x or a y, you're going to get a sign change. Look what happens right here. Y minus -3. Y minus -3. That minus a negative becomes one big plus sign. Because this point slope form has built-in minus signs, if you plug in a negative x or y value, anticipate a sign change. This is now going to be y plus 3 equals, let's distribute the -1. What's -1 times x? -1x. And what's -1 times -4? +4. Negative times a negative, right? -1 times -4. Negative times a negative is a positive. We've got a +4 right there. There's what it looks like after we distribute and have a little cleanup on signs. And again, this equation right here, guys, that is a legitimate equation of a line in point slope form that goes through the point 4, -3, and has a slope of -1. Okay? Now, if we want to take this to slope intercept form and solve it for y, what's the one number that needs to move? +3. And how are we going to move it? Let's subtract 3 from both sides. -x. What's 4 minus 3? +1. Y equals -x plus 1. Y equals -x plus 1. That is slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Solve for y. Questions? We okay with this? Do you recognize the information you've been given, and do you know where to take the information? I think those are the two key questions here. If you know what you're looking at and you know where to take it, then I think you're giving yourself a good chance to be very successful. All right, let's take a look at this one. You're going to like this one. Jot that one down. Got the point 3, -2. We've got a slope of 0. What kind of a line has slope 0? Say it again. I think somebody said it, the H word. Horizontal. Horizontal. Okay? Bless you. We've got, guys, now I'm kind of preempting a thought here, but you see a slope of 0, okay? This is a horizontal line, okay? So just kind of hold that thought. We're going to run back through this process, but I'm going to show you what's getting ready to happen, okay? So here we go. Y minus, what's my Y value? -2, okay? Equals, my slope is 0 times x minus, what's my x value? 3. Y minus -2 equals 0 times x minus 3. Okay, what happens right here with minus and negative? Becomes a positive. So really this is y plus 2. Now, what is 0 times anything? 0. Guys, take a look at the right side. You've got a slope of 0. That entire set of parentheses is being multiplied times 0. 0 times x is 0x. 0 times -3 is 0. Guys, the whole right side is 0. That's kind of nice. If you have a slope of 0, it makes the whole right side go away, which is good. Now, we said this was a horizontal line, right? And it was on the warm-up today, but the last lesson that we did, I know it was over a week ago, was on the horizontal vertical lines. Do you remember what a horizontal line equation looked like? It was y equals a number. Okay, so take a look. If you want to get y by itself, what number needs to go to the right side? The 2 needs to go, and when it moves, it's going to become negative. Take a look. Subtract 2 from both sides. 0 minus 2 is -2. And that is consistent. That is consistent with what we talked about last Wednesday. A horizontal line cuts the y-axis. That's why it starts with y equals. Y equals a number. Y equals -2 in this case is a horizontal line through -2.
Wait, I'm gonna solve like this because on the last one it was just like the footness.
Well, technically, right here, you've got point slope form, y plus 2 equals 0. And right here, you've got slope intercept form, y equals -2. Okay? So a little bit of a specialty, but that is a horizontal line. Okay? All right, last one.
Teachers, please disregard that valve. We are on it any day. We are crushing the zone currently. Thank you.
Oh, so, okay, I figured it out.
Let me do this example, then I'll send you. Don't want you to miss it. If you can wait. Can you wait? Okay. All right, here we go. Last one right here. Here is our x value. There's our y value. We've got a slope. Now notice both your x and y are negative values. Okay? We've got a point, we've got a slope. Guys, I'm telling you, if you see negative x's or y's, anticipate that sign change. Y minus, what's your y value? -1. Be careful. Make sure you're grabbing that back end number. What's my slope? -2. And then inside, x minus, what's my x value? Good, -5. Anticipate those sign changes, okay? It's really easy to overlook. We just got to kind of be mindful about that. All right, we're going to get y plus 1 minus a negative becomes a positive. Over here on the right, minus a negative 5 is also a plus 5, right? Okay, so when we distribute this negative 2, that's going to be negative 2x. And then what do we get? Negative 2 times 5. Negative 10. Good. Watch your signs. Guys, one sign mistake and this equation will not end up representing the line of this information. One little bitty mistake. Okay, so right here, that right there is point-slope form of the equation. Totally valid, perfect good equation. If we're going to solve this for y to get the slope-intercept form, what needs to move? How? Good. Bless you. Subtract 1 from both sides. Y equals negative 2x. What's negative 10 minus 1? Thank you. Negative 11. It's a beautiful thing. Point slope form. That is point slope. This is slope intercept. We need to know the difference between the two. But again, what kind of information have I been given and where can I take it? I've got a point, I've got a slope, I've got point slope form that will handle this information very nicely. Okay? All right, questions thus far? We okay? All right. Assignment. Bless you. We are going to do, take a look on this first page right here. How many problems right there have a slope that is not a fraction? So 3? Okay. So on the first page, you'll be doing number 1, number 5, number 6. Jot that down. So 1, 5, and 6. I want to make sure that we can operate with this form first before we start throwing a fraction in there, okay? And then, so 1, 5, and 6. If you take a look on the next page, looks like what? 8, 10, 12, and 13. So 8, 10, 12, 13. Oh, and 16.
Mr. King,
Yep.
I can follow what the plan Mr. Skaggs, but how come you don't print these out?
Do what?
How come you don't print them out?
Because they're right here.